February 11th, 2021. Welcome to Simple Man Radio. Don't have a lot to talk about today. It's myself with Chris, the entertainer. The Bucs had a nice parade yesterday. I forgot to turn on the lights, so now I had the dark side of my face now.
You look like Two-Face.
I know. It's like the dark side of the moon right now. So at one point in the show, I will try and get up and turn my lights on. Chris, how are you doing, my man?
I'm good, man. Like you said, not a whole lot in the sports world. Giants, there's not much. General sports, there's not much. We're gonna talk about the boat celebration in Tampa. That was definitely interesting. I'm sure I'll get some Florida stories. But I'm doing well, man. I'm doing well. So I'm excited. Just got a new sponsor on the channel. Told you about that. So I'm really excited about that. That's great for the growth of the channel. And
so you've told your subscribers that?
I told them in the community notes. Yeah, I haven't told them the sponsor yet, but yeah.
Okay, I didn't know if I didn't want to bring. I was gonna talk to you after the show about it.
Yeah, we'll talk more after the show. But that's some news for the channel. That's exciting. But
sell out, Chris. Get that trending on Twitter.
What's going on, MH? What's going on, Mike Nixon? Thank you guys for popping in.
Yeah. So, but let's start with some sports though. The Bucs Super Bowl parade on a boat. That was one of the cooler parades I've ever seen, and they were doing it because I'm sure they did it that way because of COVID a little bit. But they did that for the Lightning too. Now they're not going to get as many. Tampa actually has a decent amount of Lightning fans. They show up for the Lightning. But I definitely was really jealous yesterday. It's like, man, I really wish I was enjoying that. Can the Giants? Can we do our next Super Bowl in the Hudson River? Is that doable?
Probably not. If you fall in the Hudson River, you probably get cancer, and it's probably not the warmest of locations either. We might have to, maybe if the Super Bowl's in a warm climate, we could just have the boat parade there, and then come back and have the standard New York City parade.
There's enough Florida, New York Giants fans that we could just have the parade down in Florida. It's like we've had the 4 in New York. It's like, well, they don't have it in New Jersey.
It's
and they
true.
Play in New Jersey. So if we're just picking random states that you could do it in, we can do it in Florida. They were on Brady. Well, here who got overshadowed by Tom Brady. Leonard Fournette was losing his mind yesterday. He had this tweet. It's so hot out here that the sun got me seeing things. I thought JPP had all his fingers just now. Leonard Fournette, I didn't really like him before the season. Now I think I kind of love him. He's hilarious. He's making jokes at JPP. He's playoff Lenny, and now he's Lombardi Lenny. He seems like he knows how to have a good time.
Yeah, so does Brady. But JPP is getting close. You know how everybody always says that Bill Russell has too many fingers for his hands? JPP's not far off now with 2, so he's getting close to filling up all those fingers.
Could you imagine if he was part of the Patriots dynasty? It's like, man, you're literally about to run out of fingers to put these on.
You think JPP's a Hall of Famer?
No.
I don't know his career numbers, but
well, I'm trying to think of who's gotten into the Hall of Fame. Who's a defensive end? Because he's at less than 100 sacks right now. He's close. Trying to think.
He's got 89 career sacks.
89 career sacks. How old is he now? 32?
He is, let me see. He is he's going to be 32 next year. So he's still, he had a 12.5, 8.5, 9.5 sack, 8.5 before that. So he's been consistent. If he keeps at that pace for another 5 years, you're talking another 40 sacks or so.
5 years is a long time.
It is a long time.
Let's say he gets another 25 sacks in his career.
That would put him at 115 or so. Yeah.
Let's see. Okay, so NFL all-time sack leaders. Let's see who's around that number.
Yeah, I just pulled it up myself.
Simeon Rice is not in.
He'd be 22 all-time at 115. Yeah.
JPP or Simeon Rice?
JPP would have 2 Super Bowls.
And Simeon Rice has the 1, and Simeon Rice was an awesome. John Lynch got in this year, but that Bucs defense was so good that I feel like the Hall of Fame voters were like, we don't want to put everybody from that defense in.
Right. Yeah, it looks like that's right around the cutoff though. The 120 mark is right when you start getting consideration.
Is John Abraham a Hall of Famer?
I don't know. Is he retired long enough, John Abraham? Yeah,
I think so.
2014.
Hall of Fame class.
I don't think he's a Hall of Famer yet, but his stats indicate that he might make it one day. He's got 133 career sacks.
No, he was on the ballot. I don't think he made it. He was on the ballot in 2019.
He's got a shot. The thing with John Abraham, though, he was always really good. I never really viewed him as like a upper echelon edge rusher, like a top 3-4 guy in the league.
Yeah, but JPP hasn't been that since.
No, you're right. You're right.
The beginning of his career either. Like he's still good. He had a really good year, but like JPP hasn't been dominant. Like we thought. Like like the firework explosion, and then he had that car crash last year, which a lot of people, including myself, thought his career might have been over. Like he broke his back in a car crash last year.
Yeah.
So I think those things held JPP back from being that dominant guy. But if you tell me that nothing happens to his hand and he doesn't get in that car crash, which are like two non-football related injuries, so it's not crazy. Like some guys have injuries and like, well, you had injuries. His injuries were totally non-football related and freak accidents, the fireworks and then a car crash that breaks your back.
Oh, man, the fireworks, man. If that doesn't happen, who knows what happens with him with the Giants.
Could you imagine the panic? Guy hadn't signed the franchise tag yet. And then, the Giants are like, we're not, like, we're rescinding that, dude. Like, we're not playing that game.
Let me ask you this. Yesterday, a lot of the Bucs players came out, and they said they were coming back. Chris Godwin. Who else was it? It was Shaq Barrett. And Levante David. You think they're all coming back, or do you think they're going to look for bigger paydays somewhere else?
Godwin's coming back.
Yeah, I agree with that one.
And Godwin isn't even. I know we're not talking Giants and specifically, but Godwin's not a guy I would target if I were the Giants, even if he was a free agent.
He's more of a slot guy.
Shaq Barrett, you have to bring back. He's their best pass rusher. He's better than JPP at this point.
It's going to cost them a lot of money, though. But they'll make it work, though.
I think they'll try and tag Barrett.
Yeah.
Again. And then and then Godwin, I think they'll figure out some type of contract. Because usually Godwin's down the list on free agents. Like, would you pick Godwin over Corey Davis?
Yes. Yeah, I would take Godwin over Corey Davis.
I just feel like he's been so overshadowed now that Antonio Brown came around.
Yeah, I would take Godwin over Corey Davis. He's probably third or fourth for me at the wide receiver position right now.
Yeah.
I mean, in my opinion, Allen Robinson's top. Galladay's probably second. And then it's either him or Juju, I would think, is third.
I would rather have Juju than Godwin.
Yeah.
Let me turn my light on.
Even with his off-the-field stuff?
All right, it was bothering me looking at one just completely dark side of my face.
Are you a movie guy?
I'm not a movie guy, but I'm not like a movie snob.
We were talking about Two-Face. Which Two-Face did you like? Did you like the one from Batman Forever, or did you like the newer Two-Face?
I'm not a superhero guy. I've never watched any Batman movie. I've never watched.
You've never watched a Batman movie?
Not a one.
Is that a Florida thing?
No, it's just I never got into superhero stuff as a kid, and it was like I seen the Spider-Man movie with Tobey Maguire.
That was pretty good.
Yeah, but I haven't watched any of the Avengers movies. I just don't get into superhero stuff. You never watched
The Dark Knight? You never watched The Dark Knight? Oh, you got to watch it.
No, I just have never gotten into superhero movies. I don't know why. When you said Two-Face, I was thinking of what's the movie with Nicolas Cage and
Face Off.
Face Off. That was a good movie.
John Travolta. And
John Travolta, yeah.
What do you think you would act like if I had your face and if I had your face?
If I had you, if we switched, I would probably I would do one of your live streams.
Yeah.
And I would just be so abrasive with all the super chats. And then if you were doing my face, you would. Will you tell me what we? So I would be super abrasive with all of your super chats, and then I would just be like, I I don't know what I'd do. Maybe I'd go off on like people I know. That's like I'm not allowed to go off on.
I'm trying to think what I would do if I had your face. Oh man, I would definitely have some fun with Justin on your pod. I would definitely poke at Justin a little bit. I would tweak him with Jason Garrett for sure. Because he might hate Jason Garrett more than you do. So I might tweak him a little bit with Jason Garrett. I might spin it on him and say that I think Jason Garrett's doing a great job. Just to piss him off, throw him off his game a little bit.
Yeah, I'm trying to think. I mean, we're kind of similar with our thoughts and stuff, so it wouldn't be too crazy.
Yeah, it wouldn't be too crazy, but it's something interesting to think about.
I would move you down to Florida. That's what I would do.
I'm in.
Which we're trying to do anyway. So
yeah, I'm in.
You should come down to Florida and then be like the best Giants content creators live in Florida. So deal with it.
Just keep the Gators away from my. You told me that they hop fences and stuff. Keep the tire guys away from my house. Keep the Gators away from my house. And I might be able to get it done.
Well, I can find you a nice gated community with your new sponsorship, Mr. Sellout.
I worry about the bugs. I'm not a bug guy. And every time I go down to Florida, there's like new bugs that I've never heard of that crawl on my hand. And
bugs suck. That you get them. Yeah. But like right now, it's kind of nice out. So the Face Off was a good movie. Here's something I have an issue. If I watch a movie only one time, I can't remember it. Like
you told me that a couple.
I
of weeks
have
ago.
if I can watch, it's not like I totally like blank and be like, what was that movie about? But if I just forget key parts of the movie, it's weird.
Yeah.
Shows I'm different. Shows I'm not like that. Movies for some reason I just
shows you kind of binge.
Yeah.
I just got done watching Cobra Kai. I loved it.
I like it too. Like it's a little corny at times.
It is. It's definitely corny.
And the fight scenes are like I thought it was so funny, like the soccer game in the season 3 episode where it's like they're just kicking the shit out of each other. It's like
nobody's stopping anything.
Yeah, so
you got teachers there just saying stop. No, nobody's actually doing anything. They're beating the hell out of each other.
I like the adult scenes of with Johnny and again that's another thing. I can't remember people's names from shows and movies.
I'm the same way with that.
Like Johnny and what's the other guy's name?
When somebody Danny probably, but
Danny.
When somebody asked
Danielson,
me to, when somebody asked me who's your favorite character from this show, I'm just like you. I have to Google it and look up the characters' names in the show because I can't remember any of them. Like I Game of Thrones, I can't remember any of their names.
See, I never got in the Game of Thrones, and I can't stand the people who are like, oh, I don't watch this. Like, how do you guys watch that? It's like people enjoy what they enjoy,
Right.
But I will say during the Game of Thrones like height, I was kind of like, what is this weirdo show that like why are all my friends into like this Dungeons and Dragons stuff? Like I was quietly thinking that.
Yeah.
So yeah. I'm a big with TV shows too. Like especially with comedy, like everyone likes like the side characters, like South Park. Everyone's like, oh, I love Bubbles and Bubbles is hilarious, or Family Guy, like, oh, Stewie's the funniest.
Quagmire.
Yeah, I'm a main character guy. Those like Peter Griffin, he runs the show. The show's
great.
Peter Griffin is the life.
You saw what happened. You saw what happened with Family Guy when they tried to do a spinoff with Cleveland. I couldn't watch it.
Exactly. Yep. Exactly. Peter Griffin is the show. Like Cartman. Cartman is the show on South Park.
Yeah.
I haven't watched. I used to be really into South Park. I haven't watched any of like the new, like I haven't watched it in like 5 years.
I haven't watched South Park in a long time, but everyone loves it. That's something that I probably should watch again. I haven't watched it in years.
Yeah, I think they got too like, all right, we got to make it about current events and like make it like so much stuff play in where they used to be like, all right, let's just make funny stuff. I mean, I still think they're good.
Yeah.
So this is turning into what shows we like, which is fine on a day where we don't have much to talk about. Bobby, do you like Ozark? Karen asks. Yes, I did. I did like it. I thought it was it's a not as good version of Breaking Bad, but I did like it. I'm looking forward to whenever the new season comes out. Did you watch Ozark?
Everyone's telling me to. I haven't. But I heard the same thing. I heard it was like a poor man's Breaking Bad. And Breaking Bad's like my favorite show of all time. So
yeah, Breaking Bad's great.
A poor man's Breaking Bad is still great. So that's something I definitely got to watch. And I also got to watch Better Call Saul, which I always try to watch. And I watched like the first 3 episodes. I'm like, this is too slow.
Me too. I can't stand it. I'm not a fan. I watched the first like 5-6 episodes. I can't stand Better Call Saul.
But everyone tells me it gets good. So I feel like I got to push through and give it a real chance. But Yeah, Ozark is good. From what I hear, I haven't seen it yet.
Yeah, Ozark is good, but Breaking Bad is way better. And more realistic, and like I Breaking Bad to me it's clearly better than Ozark, but Ozark is really good too.
Yeah.
Right now I'm actually watching Schitt's Creek, which I don't love it, but it's a good. The episodes are quick, 20 minutes, and they have like three different,
So kind of like Cobra Kai.
Yes, yeah. Like it's a little corny at times, but I like it. I didn't think I'd like it, but I'm enjoying it. But it's not a show that where I'm like, oh man, like you have to watch Schitt's Creek. It's just a good kind of mindless show.
Mike Nixon just wrote, and I do remember it. He was a fat guy that knew everything about sports.
Yes.
Do you guys remember a show called Stump the Schwab? Of course. That's one thing we should do today. If anybody has trivia questions, ask us some trivia questions. We'll see if we can get it. But that guy knew everything about sports. That guy, I could not stump that guy. That guy was good.
Yeah, Stump the Schwab. I actually, for some reason, I was thinking about him not too long ago, and I went and followed him on Twitter.
How many followers you got?
Let me see.
What do people like send him like trivia questions all day?
I don't know. I think he might be one of these guys that isn't like active. How do you spell it? SCH?
I think it's SCHWAB.
Yeah. What was his first name? He's not pulling up.
I think it was Stump.
I think I'll just look up Stump Swab and it should come up. Geez, tweets from 2012 are coming up. That's crazy.
So he's done.
In 2012, anyone remember the show Stump the Swab on ESPN? Miss it. It's like, man, 2012 we were missing it. So yeah, that must have been when I was in like middle school when that show was out.
I wasn't even on Twitter. Back
I was an ESPN junkie as a kid. Like I watched PTI, Around the Horn, Sports Center.
Now I don't watch it at all.
No, me either. Like I almost like never. Yeah. Like I used to love NFL Live. I can't watch NFL Live anymore. The only I'll have like Good Morning Football on in the morning when I'm working and stuff, but I just can't get into it anymore. Like the only reason I have TV now is for live sports.
Yeah, I'll watch ESPN for that. That's it. Not the shows anymore. But yeah, I wanted to talk a little bit more about the Brady, the Brady getting hammered at the party. What did you? I was dying of laughter, and I'm not normally a Brady guy. I actually enjoyed it. I was like, all right, he's showing a little bit of a human side to him.
I thought throwing the trophy was one of the funniest things ever because it reminded me of myself, or people like because those people on the other boat were panicking. And
Cameron Brate was the one that caught it.
Yeah, I know. And he's like, I'm going to do it. He's like, I'm going to do it. He's like, I'm going to throw it off. And I think, part of that is like he's literally won 6 of those, Yeah. So he watched Gronk like hit a baseball with one and dent it, and when they did like an event at Fenway a couple years ago. So I think it was like, all right, what if it falls in the ocean? We'll just get it, what if this just falls in the Gulf of Mexico? We'll just dive down and get it. Well, so it's like we're not going to lose it forever. So I think that was his mindset. It's like, I'm just going to throw this thing. Like, it's going to be so funny. It's going to go viral. So yeah, I love that because I just thought that was the funniest thing because it's one of those things where it has everyone else panicked around you, but in his mind, he's like, "What's the worst that's going to happen?"
I've already got 6 of these. Yeah.
Yeah. So
he's lucky Gronk didn't catch it.
I know Gronk might have spiked it in the water or something. Like
he would have spiked it into the ocean.
I wish they would have planned to do that. That would have been so funny. Like just to see, like, and I've thought about myself. Like, okay, here's a situation. If you ever get to throw the first pitch, are you going to throw a good pitch? Even if it's a minor league baseball game or anything.
I used to be a pitcher, but I haven't pitched in 20 years. No.
But are you going to try and throw a good
I have not tried to throw a pitch in 15 years, since I was maybe 20. So I probably would bounce it or throw a wild pitch if I had to guess.
But I would go for the comedy aspect. I would curl hop it into the stand.
So you would intentionally throw a pitch.
Yeah, that's how you get remembered, Nobody remembers.
You remember the 50 Cent pitch
exactly.
at the Mets game?
Exactly. Yeah. Everyone remembers 50 Cent. Go for the comedic value. That's how you get remembered. No one gets remembered for throwing it over the plate unless you're George Bush after 9/11.
Maybe try to kill a bird like Randy Johnson.
That's one of the craziest moments in sports too. Randy Johnson's my favorite pitcher of all time. I mean, he's a 6'7" lefty like me too.
6'10", 6'10", Randy Johnson.
And Randy Johnson to me is my favorite pitcher of all time. And then the fact that he went on the Yankees was so awesome to me.
He wasn't that good there though for you guys.
No, but it was towards the end of his career.
Yeah,
man, he was savage. I remember when he reached 4,000 strikeouts, and they were interviewing him after the game. He literally told his kid, like, put your hands over your ears, like earmuffs. And he's like, I've done everything short of selling my soul to the devil to get to this point. Like, he was a savage. I loved Randy.
Yeah.
And then just blowing up a bird is just like the bird blew up when it.
That's such a Randy Johnson thing.
Could you imagine? You're just like, all right, 2-1 count, bam, and the next thing you know, you just exploded a bird.
There's so many. What's the other? Oh, the All-Star game. Remember when he threw it over John Kruk's head during the All-Star game, and John Kruk fell down to the ground, and he started beating his chest like this, like his heart was racing. He did that twice, I think, during an All-Star game. Randy Johnson had some personality.
I loved Randy Johnson, the hair, everything. But yeah, I would curl hop. If I ever get to do a first pitch at a baseball game, I'm curl hopping it into the stands. Like, who do you remember that threw a good pitch? George Bush after 9/11. That's the only time.
That's because it was kind of,
Exactly.
Yeah.
So I'm never gonna be the president after a national tragedy. Like, if I'm in that scenario, yeah, I'll throw a good first pitch. Right. But if Talking Giants gets, we get to go to some minor league stadium and throw out the first pitch, I am curl hopping it.
Yeah, you're throwing it as far as you can.
Oh yeah, over the net, everything. I'm sending a kid home, and I'm writing "Talking Giants versus the World" on the ball before I throw it too.
I like it.
So we got to work on that. So make sure this audio never gets out to people, so I can get the chance to do a first pitch eventually. Bobby, are you related to the license plate guy? No, but go enter his raffle. I think there still might be some time to get some tickets. I don't know.
I saw that on Twitter. What's that about? What is he giving away, a jersey or something like that? Yeah,
he's got like 7 different items. Like I bought a ticket for a football signed by Brandon Jacobs, and it says let me get the exact quote so I don't screw it up. It says, oh, come on. Where is it? Where is it? It says, it says like it's like it has like the quote that Brandon Jacobs had to Rex Ryan. Like, how do you like that, fat boy, or whatever? Wait, here it is. Hey, Rex. I can't. It's time for you to shut up, fat boy. So that's what I
got a license plate guy actually private messaged me like a month ago, because I probably shouldn't do this. I don't think you do this. I try to follow within reason almost everybody that follows me. I just try to give them a follow back, and I probably shouldn't do that, but I do. And license plate guy private messages me, and he writes, "What the blank, bro?" And I'm like, "What?" I'm like, "What do you mean, what the blank?" And he's like, "I saw you followed one of my troll accounts." And I'm like, "Oh, I didn't know."
License plate girl.
License plate girl. Yeah, I just followed him back, and he's like, I guess they troll him all the time, so he was upset about it. But he's like, I figured you didn't see.
Yeah, that's funny. That's funny.
How do you handle you don't follow everybody, right?
No.
Yeah.
I follow everyone who does, content for the most part. If I don't like you, like but I follow like every Giants beat reporter besides like Matt Lombardo and Pat Leonard.
Why? Matt Lombardo's so good.
I love that he's irrelevant now. He went to a blogging site and he's irrelevant. And then I will follow like content creators, like, people who like make content. I'll follow them. And then listeners who are supporters, listeners who aren't just, casual listeners who support,
Yeah.
So people who are part of our like community. I'll follow them, and it doesn't mean I'm following every one of them. It just kind of happens randomly. But I'll be like, I'll see someone, reply to my tweets with jokes and funny. I was like, I'm going to give this guy a follow. I think he's cool. So that's it. Somebody asked Bobby, what's the plan with the goatee? I don't know. I'm thinking about shaving it. Like I was thinking about, because I can grow my goatee out long.
How long does it take you to grow a beard?
I can't grow a real beard.
What do you mean you can't grow a real beard?
It's patchy. Like right here, it doesn't really grow a lot. It gets really patchy. It grows long instead of out. My goatee grows fine though.
I've never grown, and my hair grows fast. Like I could shave. I'm like Homer Simpson. I shave and I got a 5 o'clock shadow in like 10 minutes. I've never grown a beard my whole life. Like a full grown beard. I've never grown one. Really?
I'm trying to see if I can find some long goatee pictures of me. I've grown it pretty long for like 6-7 months at some points. Let's see. It was pretty long when I went to the Keys. Let me find some of those pictures. But yeah, I was thinking about growing it out, but I honestly might shave it before the episode tonight. I'm not sure.
I would think in Florida you don't want the facial hair. It gets hot.
Yeah, that's true too. But it's nice this time of year. Yeah. How do I get to I haven't used. I'm so bad at Facebook now. Albums. Where are we? Yeah. So I don't know. I'm also trying to lose weight. And I lose weight quick when I try. My issue is I got to stay consistent over 3 months.
I'm the same way, but then I started walking and then it got too cold here. So I'm like I took like a day off and now I've taken like 4 days off because I'm like it's too cold.
I just set myself at 2,000 calories a day, and I'll lose a pound a day.
Really?
Yeah, because I'm tall.
How much you weigh now, if you don't mind me asking?
A lot. I do mind you asking. That's why I'm trying to lose weight. Is because
I weigh too much too. I'm trying to lose weight.
So I'm trying to get back. I'm trying to lose like 50, 60 pounds by time like training camp starts.
We're both trying to get in training camp shape. I'd like to drop about 25, 30 pounds myself. So
and then I don't do like the whole idea of intermittent fasting, but I do like try and make your meals between noon and 8, which is easy for me. It's easy for me to not eat until like noon. Like sometimes it's not even like 2 or 3 till I eat. My issue is at night, dude. At like 9:30, 10 o'clock. It's like, I want to eat some like junk while I watch the game or something.
Especially when I finish a show late at night, I'm like, let me go. I always go and snack something. Like tonight, I'm doing the Talk of Giant show at, not to take your channel's name, but I'm doing the show with Bad Dog at 10 to like midnight. And then after that, I'm always hungry after the fact. I go up there, I eat, and I got to stop doing that. It's not good for you.
Yeah, that's my issue at night.
Yeah.
This is I guess this is kind of long.
Oh yeah, that's much longer than I've ever. The other problem I have with my face right now is it's gray. I get not fully gray, but there's little grays here and there.
Girls like that though. That like the whole touch of gray thing.
Yeah, I gotta start talking to those girls.
Yeah, do it. Maybe I'll tweet that from someone on radio. Any girls that are into gray beards, at the Anatana. So we're good. And my thing is I don't drink soda, so like, and I drink black coffee. So that's what makes it easier for me too, is I have no craving to drink anything that's unhealthy. Like I mean, go to my trash can right now. It's just filled with water. Like I just drink water all day long, and I have black coffee in the morning, and that's literally all I drink.
Yeah, I'm doing the same thing actually. I put milk in my coffee sometimes.
See, but that's like the easiest part for me, and that's the hardest part for some people. Is like cutting out soda or taking cream or sugar out. Like some people are just like they're just like addicted to soda. Like and it's like the hardest thing for them because it's like soda is worse than cigarettes to me. Like if you drink soda. Like, if you drink, like, soda with every meal, that's probably just as bad as smoking cigarettes to me. Soda is so bad for you. Doesn't mean you can't have one here and there, but...
No, you're right. And they say that the diet soda is actually worse than the regular soda.
Yeah.
Because of the NutraSweet or whatever they put in there.
Soda is, like, the worst thing ever made by man. Like, it was... I'm serious. It's worse than cigarettes to me.
Cigarettes pretty bad.
Cigarettes are really bad, but I think it's like a soda... cigarettes, and then it's like cheeseburgers, and then like vegetables down here.
What? Okay, we didn't live back then when like people didn't realize like cigarettes were bad for you.
How did they never not realize?
How did they not realize that? Like people are inhaling cigarettes, they're coughing the first time you have it. Because I've only had like 5 cigarettes in my life when I was drunk at like parties, but when I was like a kid. But the first time anybody has a cigarette, I imagine if you smoke it properly, you're going to be coughing up a lung, as they say. So how did people in like the 50s and 60s and 70s like not realize that it was detrimental to their health?
I don't know. Some of the cigarette commercials are so funny. I'll try and find one while we're talking. But yeah, I mean, everybody smoked. They had smoking sections in school. Like everybody smoked. This generation, like today's youth, they don't smoke cigarettes, which is good for them.
Instead, they vape.
Yeah,
that's just as bad. I bet you vape in 20 years, people are going to say it's just as bad as smoking cigarettes. It's just that right now we don't know.
Yeah, it's bad. I was addicted to cigarettes for a long time. And then I did the Juul to try and quit. And it actually did help me quit, because one day I literally just took it and threw it into the ocean. And the difference between throwing, like, because people like flush their cigarettes down the toilet. Yeah. Well, you could just go down to the store and buy another pack for $5. With a Juul, you have to go spend like $30-$40 to get a new one. So that helped out a little better. But it did help me quit. But the issue was I would do it inside though. So cigarettes, it was like at least I had to go outside,
right?
And smoke them, and you smell like it, so you're conscious of where you're doing it, because you don't want to smell like it, And I was the type where I would try and hide it from some people, my good friends would know, and my family knew, but I would never smoke in front of my family, my parents at least, my brothers I would. My parents have never seen me smoke a cigarette, and I was addicted to it for like 5 years. This commercial is so funny.
And you were still an athlete.
Oh, I smoked while playing football in college. My coaches hated it because people would snitch on me to the coaches.
Yeah.
And then one time I was smoking a cigarette driving, and my coach literally rolled up next to me. He's like, "What's going on, Bobby?" I'm like, "No, nothing much. What's going on?" Oh man, I couldn't believe that. Like I would smoke a cigarette right after practice.
Cigarettes. What kind of a man is he?
Oh, I got to put it in the microphone.
I like to work on my car. I like to take it apart and put it back together.
Is an old cigarette commercial?
And forget where I am, what time it is. I even forget to eat. You don't forget to smoke, though. I always smoke when I work. They go together. Why Marlboro? Well, it's a combination of things. When I draw on a cigarette, I want to taste something. With Marlboro, I do. Yet it's got a filter that works. Then there's this flip-top box. I like things that are well-designed. This box is interesting and practical. Would you recommend Marlboro to your friends? I already have. New Marlboro.
So the comments on this video are so funny because he's like, I forget to eat. I forget where I am. He's like, I forget what I'm doing. But he's like,
people
I never
weren't
get to
very
smoke.
creative back then. That's the best idea you could come up with for a cigarette commercial.
It's something.
Like one of the drawing cards is that it's easy. It can easily flip open. That's why people smoke cigarettes.
Let me see. Gosh, the comments they're not as good as they used to be. It's like I forget. All the comments are people talking about how they like smoking. What the hell?
I see Michael Scott ask opinions on marijuana being legalized.
We're not getting into that.
We won't get into that.
I go for it. I want to hear your opinion.
My opinion. I don't smoke marijuana, but I think it should be legal. I think it should be legal at this point. I mean, we're talking about soda. We're talking beer. I think is worse for you than marijuana, if I'm being honest. So I think it should be legal. That's just my opinion.
For medical, there's legit medical reasons. I don't think it should be legalized for recreational activity. I just don't. I don't. This idea that like marijuana is harm. Is it compared to other drugs? And yeah. Is it like is being high as bad as being drunk? No, it's not. But it's like the difference with alcohol though is I can have one beer and I'm not drunk. You can't take You can't
Let me ask you this though: what's worse? And we don't got to get into this discussion. If
Let's
you don't
do
want.
it. I'm down for it.
Okay.
Let's do the damn thing.
What's worse, cigarettes or a joint?
Well, cigarettes you smoke a ton a day, so health-wise it's worse. But cigarettes doesn't impair your driving, your reaction time. And I know there's going to be a bunch of people like, "Oh, I smoke and it's fine." You're talking to someone who literally was being high all like there was a time in my life where I was high all day. Like it was just from when I woke up to night. So like this isn't someone who's never had any experience with it. Like smoking a cigarette doesn't make you a worse driver, Where like
that's fair.
Smoking weed does make you a worse driver. You can say that you can do it well, but it does make you a worse driver.
No, that's fair, and it's much easier to do that than when you drink and drive.
Yeah, and I'm not arguing for cigarettes to be legal either. Like cigarettes are disgusting. It's a horrible stain on our society, So I can't stand the like, oh well, what about this? Like every time the argument for like the whataboutism. So I agree with a lot of the talking points, but I don't think it should be like oh there's like no downfall to it. Like yes there is. It's not as bad as people used to make it out to be. But there is negative sides.
The way I look at it, though, Bobby, is, and again, I don't smoke weed. I wouldn't smoke weed if it was legal. But the way I look at it is, people are going to get it anyway. Like everybody has drug dealers that they get weed from anyway. You might as well let it help boost the economy. That's the way I
hate that argument though, because then it's like, well, you could do that with anything. There's people are going to do.
Yeah, but
people are going to drive drunk anyway. It's like people do this anyway.
That's fair. That's fair.
So, and and this is from someone who used to do all that stuff, like I don't get drunk anymore. I can have one beer here now. So yeah, but I mean, I agree. I do agree with a lot of the points about it and think, laws should be changed around it. But I don't think it should just be like, recreation,
like cigarettes, where you can just walk
use recreationally. And cigarettes, actually, the age has been moved to 21. I didn't know that until
I didn't know that either.
I was in. Well, maybe it's just a Florida law, but I was in the store and I saw it's like you must be 21 or older. I didn't know that, which is then you'll have the argument. Well, if you get served in the military, you can't buy the. I don't know. There's a lot of screwed up things, is what I'm saying. There's a lot of screwed up things we do.
That's why we're not lawmakers.
Yeah.
That's why we talk sports.
I do my best to do the right things most of the time.
Yeah, if you're a kid listening, we're not encouraging you to do that.
Yeah, I'm like the opposite. I'm like the old people get mad at me. It's like, oh, smoking weed is awesome. It's like, I get that you like it. I loved it too, but
yeah.
So look at me being high-minded right now.
You're doing
good. Let's finish off on this. Snacks, who was on this show every once in a while, got the freaking account suspended for Silverman on Radio because he pissed me off, and I called him white trash for liking wrestling, which I didn't mean, but I was just trying to piss him off, and he got the freaking account suspended for 12 hours.
Let me ask you a question. How old is Snacks?
My age, 27 or 28. I'm 29 now. I forget that.
Maybe I'm wrong, and maybe I'm going to offend people that are in the chat right now, Bobby. I don't get the fascination with wrestling after the age of 15.
I hate it.
I don't get the fascination with wrestling. It's fake. Okay, let's break down wrestling right now. Like UFC, I get. Like, this is not planned. These guys are beating the hell out of each other. Even though I'm not a big fight fan, but I get it. I get why people are into UFC. I get why people are into boxing, right? WWE, after the age of 15, 16, whatever it may be, it's a soap opera. And everybody knows it's pre-planned. You're watching men in tighty whities walk around in a ring hugging each other. I don't get it. I don't get why adults are into wrestling.
It's the same reason people are into it's reality TV, and that's why the new age has we've broken down the barrier of is it fake or not? Like everyone knows it's fake now. It's just I'm not into it, but I also I can understand why it is entertainment. And it's like a store. It's like reality. It's reality TV, or reality TV. There's.
I guess I just think differently than people. I mean,
but I'm not. I'm the same way. I'm not a reality TV guy.
The way I look at it, Bobby, is there is so many other options nowadays for adults. All the shows that are on Netflix, all the shows that are on Hulu, whatever. You pick fake Wrestling is your form of entertainment? I don't know. I don't know. Maybe I'm crazy, Bobby.
I don't think people are, and like I don't think snacks walk like, and people. I think a lot of people, it's like they look back at like the
The
Goldberg, Steel and
Yeah.
Cold Steel. Like I don't think there's a lot of people. I think there's a lot of looking back at it because there was like 6 months where I got into wrestling, probably like when I was like elementary school, and then I just kind of got over it.
No, I liked wrestling when I was in middle school too.
Yeah. Yeah, so it's just reality. It's like it's the same reason people like Real Housewives or like I'm not into any of that stuff, but I do see why people kind of like it.
Yeah.
I just think the punches are so ridiculous. Like you could just literally see them stopping. It's like dude, nobody punches like that, and you guys are supposed to be the best
They
fighters.
stop their foot on the ground and everything.
Yeah. It's so silly. Like
My favorite wrestler was The Rock. I liked The Rock when I was in middle school. I liked The Rock.
I like Bobby Lashley.
I don't know who that is.
He still does it because I saw his name come up for whatever was WrestleMania or whatever that was, a couple weeks ago. I just liked him. He had the name Bobby, and I thought he was cool. But I just never really got into it. Man. All right, so we're at like 41 minutes right now on an episode where we said we didn't have enough to talk about. We literally didn't even get to everything we wanted to talk about.
We didn't even talk. You told me you were going to tell me Florida stories.
Yeah, we'll save it.
Right.
Guy stole a golf cart. No big deal.
Typical thing in New York, they steal cars. In Florida, they steal golf carts.
Yeah, exactly. So, all right, we're gonna head out. Appreciate you guys. Oh, pick of the day. I got Blazers plus 5.5 versus the Sixers at home.
Ooh, hold on. I think I won last time, right? Because I had
You did. You won. I lost.
So I'm 500 again, and I don't know what your record.
I think I am 500. Here, I pull up the records. I am. Let's see. I am. Yep, I'm 8-8, and you're 4-4-1.
All right, who did you take?
I got Blazers plus 5.5 at home versus Sixers.
All right, one thing if I ever bet, this is what I would do. I just went to a random website that shows the lines. And if I was ever a bettor, you said you took the Blazers over the Sixers?
Yeah, plus 5.5.
I would look at the spreads, and I would look at where the money was going, and I would bet the opposite. If I saw like a dramatic difference, because Vegas usually wins, right?
Fade the public.
Yeah, so on this site, 87% of the people are betting the Raptors getting 3 points against the Celtics, which means I'm taking the Celtics. I'll take the Celtics -3.
Bam.
Vegas wins.
Lock it in. Suck it, public. All right, we appreciate you guys. We'll be back tomorrow. I think Danny will be joining. We'll do some stuff. All right, appreciate you guys. See you. Stay simple.